One of the reasons I wanted to be an author was so that I could work wherever I wanted. And in that spirit, today I'm going to read from the beach. I'm sure you can see why. I don't know how well this is going to work, but the sound of the water in the background might actually work for this chapter. So here we go. Page 91, chapter 15, The Rescue. Rolling and bouncing off the sides of the water-carved tunnel, kicking, clawing, and grabbing to find anything solid. Finally, a handhold. Slate grabbed on hard and brought his other hand around, stopping his momentum as the water persistently pushed past. The water's darkness hid everything except the stars from a lack of oxygen. "Oh dear, Merciful Bedrock, this is it. I'm coming home." The severed rope slid past Slate's back, giving a slight tug on the harness. All he could do was try to hold on as his fingertips faltered. Something significant slammed into him, and he was flowing down the tunnel again. "Oh, good Bedrock, now diddly what?" Slate felt like his faith and will were being tested. Lumpy placed his dive perfectly, only to find himself quickly sucked under the surface. He didn't think about what he was doing, he just acted. Stretching out and wiggling his body, he surfed the water flow, teeth clenched tightly on the rope, reaching out for Slate. "Well, this is one wild ride," was a strange thought at the time. Lumpy had experience as a freediver at an oyster farm at the petrified coral ridge of New Rockland. His breath control was exceptional. Bam! Lumpy slammed hard into something. Even in the dark underwater, he knew what it was. "Come here, Slate. I got you." Lumpy grabbed onto Slate. "Gotcha!" Then spun and bounced along, slamming off the walls, grasping at each other. He pulled the rope from his mouth, a quick wrap around his hand. The darkness was all-consuming. Spinning, bouncing, motion, confused, disoriented. Lumpy managed to wrap the rope around Slate. "I think I got you. Hold on, Slate." Lumpy pushed his face into Slate's and locked lips. Slate wrestled with something in the dark and quickly realized it was Lumpy. What happened next was the strangest part of the whole situation. He tasted sulfur and Lumpy's breath. "What the diddly?" Lumpy inflated Slate's lungs like a birthday balloon. "There, thank you, you brilliant diddly rock." It seemed Lumpy had enough sense to bring a couple lungs full of air to share. The stale air temporarily cleared Slate's mind long enough to realize they were spiraling down a water slide with an unknown destination. "Well, hot diddly damn." Lumpy looped the rope through the harness and hugged Slate real tight. "Hang on, buddy. That's all I can do." When a diver needs to come up, they give 3 tugs on the rope. Bold will know what that means. Exhausted and getting lightheaded, Lumpy gave the rope 3 hard tugs. Bold ain't gonna let us go. As if hearing Lumpy's thoughts, Slate wrapped his arms around him, clamping his hands together, held on tight and prayed. "Great Bedrock, deliver us from this or diddly deal." Meanwhile, outside the pit, Roundy had quickly rolled to town for help, and Bold stood motionless, staring at the rope hanging in the pool of hot, steaming water. The sulfuric fumes burned Bold's eyes, but he couldn't blink. His thumb was on the locked mechanism, ready to lock into the spindle and start cranking. Bold hoped the iron cast locking mechanism and hardwood spindle would hold under the dynamic pressure when the rope stopped, or worse, ran out of length. The water, having filled the pit, quieted down. He waited for a sign in the sudden, eerie quiet. When Slate fell and Lumpy jumped, it happened fast. Time moved quickly. Now time slowed as Bold waited, shallow breathing and rapid heartbeats. Come on, Rux. Where are you? The rope jumped, making a small splash, lost tension, then taut, and a third time, the rope slapped at the pulley at the end of the lever. And there you are! Bold flipped the lock. Slam! The whole system locked up. The rope pulled tight. Mabel's got you! The lever creaked, the pulleys groaned, and the spindle squealed. Betsy held together. That's them! Crank! Bold yelled to himself. He was proud that Betsy held out, but she was too slow. This is taking too long, he said to Betsy. For the first time, Bold realized how scared he was. Betsy, I love you, but you're too slow. They've been down there too long. I have to do something. Bold's inner panic motivated him. Moving quickly, he locked the spindle, ran around Mabel, swung the lever in, and grabbed the rope. The rope was rough, wet, and warm. The pull on the rope was more than Bold anticipated. He was pulled forward. I don't think so. He gripped the rope tightly and leaned back hard. The rope slipped a bit, tearing at his calloused hands. Delilah was walking in the garden park when she heard the commotion, and upon investigation, rolled into Roundy, who sent her back to town for help. Roundy returned to the scene just in time to see the second bravest thing he had ever seen, the first being Lumpy diving into the abyss moments ago. Bold had abandoned the pulley system and was attempting to tug the line in manually. Roundy snatched up the slack behind Bold, held on tight, and leaned back hard. Muscles bulged, feet planted. Working together, they managed to get the rope moving, winning a desperate tug-of-war against a persistent opponent. Heave! Bold bellowed. Think Bedrock, he thought. Rockstone and Samuel were close behind and rolled in fast. Roundy and Bold were heaving on the rope like a couple of mad dogs. Rockstone saw what was happening and quickly picked up the slack behind Roundy. What is that smell? With a scrunched up face, he turned his head away and began to pull. With the extra help, Bold picked up the pace. Heave! Heave! The steaming water had settled on a level, and the pit found its final shape. Faster! Heave! Heave! I'm not losing friends today. Water was dancing around and dripping off the rope as it was being pulled out of the steamy pit. Samuel followed Rockstone, picked up the wet rope, and did his part. Where are Slate and Lumpy? The thought scared Samuel, and he pulled with all his might. Round rocks came rolling in from all directions, like an avalanche. Stoney took his spot behind Samuel. Rockzilla, Rocky, Barbara, Crystal, and Sphere, one by one, rocks joined in the tug-of-war, each one of them wondering what was happening, worried for their friends, and inhaled the thick, pungent smell of rotten eggs. With each heave of the rope, another rock picked up the slack, and the strain became a little less. Another cliffhanger. We'll find out what happens next week. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you could hear it well. But it's just a fantastic place to read the chapter. That felt really good for me, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.